what's going on there, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of Philly Brew Reviews. Let's drink a beer. So today we're going to be heading back into the Philly region, and we're going to be looking at another one from Troegs Brewery, and this is going to be the Nugget Nectar. Nugget Nectar is another local kind of myth, legend. I don't know myth because this is real, but it's a apparently very well loved beer. I believe it is a seasonal. Let's see what the bottle says. Maybe it'll give us some clues. It just says, Nugget Nectar will take hop heads to nirvana with a heady collection of American hops. Starting with the same base ingredients as hopback amber, Nugget Nectar intensifies the flavors to create an explosive hop experience. This is classified on Beer Advocate as an American red or amber ale. Not to be confused with an American red or amber lager, which is what Yuengling is, or the Yuengling traditional lager is. This is an ale, most definitely. It is 7.5 alcohol by volume, and the book on this beer is that it's very good. So, a couple things. I've actually been doing beer reviews for a while now, obviously, and I just recently read kind of a little thing on Beer Advocate on how to taste beer. Some of you may be wondering, why the hell didn't you read how to taste beer like a long time ago? I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was more of a personal thing, so I didn't really... The only really thing I'm going to change is, instead of smelling it in the bottle, which I usually do, I'm going to actually pour it first and smell it later, because apparently you pull more aroma out that way, so we'll kind of do that. But I think, yeah, Troegs is out of Hershey, PA. I've had a bunch of their beers. That's Victory. I kind of get them mixed up with Victory a lot of times. A lot of the names of the beers, that's my fault. But I do kind of see them as very similar. They both have very hoppy kind of back ends of most of the beers that they brew. They also brew, I think Mad Elf is still up here. Is it? Yes, it is. They brew Mad Elf Ale. And this is just as legendary as Mad Elf Ale, so let's sink our teeth into it and see what we got. All right, the Nugget Nectar. Let's pour it. Well, didn't get too much of a head there on that pour. I tried to kind of get it aggressive, but what a beautiful copper red color that is. It's just really nice, very see-through. Not too much carbonation bubbles coming up from the bottom, but the head is pretty white, even though it's pretty much non-existent here. Couldn't really get too much of a head at all. But, yeah, the appearance of it is quite nice. Definitely. I would definitely call that a copper red right there. Well, in the smell, you definitely get the floral hops. There's a lot of hop presence going on. Definitely. But there's also a sweetness to it that might be coming from the malts. And it's definitely a nice balance. Really nice smelling beer. Yeah, definitely you pull a lot of that hop presence out of the taste. That's kind of the main thing that you get. Let's taste it and see what we got. Oh boy. So, there's so much going on here, hop-wise. It's hard to distinguish. There's fruity hops. There's more of like a floral side hop. The mixture is really beautiful without being overly bitter. It's crazy because it's very, very hoppy. Kind of in the middle part of the drink. When it first hits the tongue, really you get more of a sweet, the sweet malts really come out very, very distinguished in the first part of the drink. And in the middle part of the drink, you get all those hop flavors bursting in your mouth, and then there's a smooth finish. And the aftertaste that's lingering is very much of a sweet malt. So it's like you get the sweet at the beginning, sweet at the end, hops in the middle. Really a titanic, beautiful taste to it. I mean, it's just perfect in how it's balanced out. Man, same thing again. The funny thing is, it's got a pretty clean mouthfeel. There's a little bit of a creaminess there to it, but it really goes down nice and smooth, and it leaves you with a dry finish. Very. But I was gonna say, why not just make this the regular beer and get rid of Hopback Amber? Because this is phenomenal, gentlemen, man, or ladies. I don't know who the brewers are. Most brewers are guys. I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty safe bet. The hop presence is just amazing. Because then obviously, it's not my favorite style to have a beer that's really hoppy, but the mixture of hops that they use for this are just really just amazing in their mixture and how it's all coming together. It's just a really wonderful mix. Everything in this beer, the malts as well, the sweetness that really comes in there, really, really nice. It's weird because American Red or Amber Ale, I can't say that I've ever... I know that most of the beers that are in that category are a little bit weaker than this from the hop side. I feel like this is more close to an IPA or an American IPA. It's interesting. It's definitely got that character to it, but at the same time, it's extremely drinkable, and it's very, very good, very well done. It's almost like they made this by accident and realized how good it was. It's crazy. And then maybe just tweaked it a little bit, and what came out is just perfect. Alcoholic, too, and the 7.5 alcohol by volume is pretty high, but you really don't get that real alcoholic kind of feel. It doesn't taste like an overly alcoholic beer. They're really good at that, because with the Mad Elf, too, it's 11% alcohol by volume. You do feel that if you drink a couple, but you don't really feel it while you're drinking it. So they're really good at masking the alcoholic content in the beer. Thankfully, they list it, so you can make the right choice when you're drinking some. But anyway, so obviously this is a hoppy beer, hoppy side. So from a hop factor standpoint, it's going to be pretty high. I'll give it a hop factor of 7 out of 10. It's not as high because it's so good, The hops are just such a great mixture to, and with the sweet malts, it's just a great mixture to everything. It really explodes in the mouth. So the hops are okay, they're okay to be there. And as for overall rating, I mean, you got to go 5 out of 5 with this thing. This is just extraordinary. This is definitely one of the more extraordinary beers that I've had. I mean, even I've probably rated a few 5 out of 5 because they're just great beers, but this is just, man, this is phenomenal. I guess what I'm saying is it's phenomenal in its own right, because I don't know if I've ever tasted a beer quite like it, which is really saying something, because it's just so good with the mixture and everything. It's just really, if you were to kind of have a Mount Rushmore of beer, this right now has a place on it for me. It really does. From the hop side, maybe from the smooth side, I'd probably put like Anchor Porter on there. I'd probably put, I don't know what else, but I'm not going to go through them now. But I think that this one is definitely a keeper. So that's it for this one. Can't stop drinking it. That's it for this one. We will see you with the next review. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, like, subscribe, comment, ask me some questions, whatever you want to do. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the next review.